Greetings, everyone. This is Sean Felton, and I'm here in Ithaca, New York, on the campus of Cornell University. And we are glad to have some time with you this Friday afternoon. If you're watching this, congratulations are in order. You are expected and going to be welcomed on the Cornell University campus this fall, so congratulations. This panel will last about 45 minutes or so, and we're looking forward to giving you a little bit of a taste of what it's like to be here on the Cornell campus and what it's like to be a student here, what you have to look forward to. I know some of you submitted questions for our student panelists who will introduce themselves in just a minute. Some of you submitted questions beforehand, and that's great. And we will make some effort to answer some of your questions during the online student panel, the video panel or webcast. The panel will end, again, in about 45 minutes, and then we're gonna move over to See You on the Hill, which is our special private network for our early decision admitted students, and you can continue some of the conversations with each other and also ask questions on See You on the Hill. And you should have received an email about that so you could join up. Again, congratulations, and let's go ahead and get started. So thank you guys for doing this. You're all very busy Cornell students, right? Oh, and I should say I'm off camera. I'm not important to see. I'm an admissions officer. You don't need to see me. You guys have all been admitted already. You need to hear from the experts on Cornell and life on campus. So I'm going to ask our student panelists if they would go down the line. We're going to start with Alex. And Alex, if you would tell us your name, where you're from, the major or program of study, and your year at Cornell.
Hello, friends. I'm Alex McClellan. I'm from Turlock, California. I'm a sophomore here at Cornell, and I study biology and society.
Hello, everyone. My name is Aaron Wallace. I'm from Utica, New York, upstate New York, studying biology and Russian, and I'm a senior.
Hello, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are. My name is Ben Filsoff. I am a junior in the School of Hotel Administration, originally from just outside of Los Angeles, Calabasas, California.
Hi there, I'm Kelsey Malura. I am a senior psychology major, law and society minor, and I'm from Chino Hills, California.
My name is Mikey Hinsa. I am a senior in the School of Hotel Administration, like Ben, and I'm originally from Fairfield, Connecticut.
Great. Great. So pretty much the coasts. And Connecticut. Well, Connecticut's on the coast too, so great. We got a number of questions submitted for our panel, and some of them are actually fun. So I may actually interject some of these questions as the questions submitted by our admitted students. I might interject those earlier in the conversation than planned. This is a great question, and anyone can answer this. What is the cell reception like at Cornell?
I've never had a problem with it. I have Verizon, and it's been good to me. I mean, there's no problems with it.
Verizon is good. I recommend that one.
Yeah, AT&T or Verizon. I've lived on campus. I lived off campus. I've never really had a problem with cell reception at all. It's been pretty good to me, right?
Yeah, same with me. I have Verizon, and it's working great.
Yep, I have Verizon as well.
So it sounds like you should get Verizon if you're worried about cell reception. Very important. And that was the second question. Which carrier do you guys recommend? We recommend Verizon.
Unofficially.
That's right. We're not sponsoring.
Yeah, we're
not supporting Verizon, but it is the one that works maybe the best. So let's talk a little bit about maybe that moment right before you got on campus. Tell me one thing you were thinking, or one thing you thought you knew about what Cornell was going to be like, and then tell me how that may have changed after you got here.
I guess, I can start. Coming here, I thought, it's such a huge campus with so many students. I thought it was going to be kind of just enormous, and I'd lose my way and didn't know, what was going on. But really quickly, you start just seeing, like, it's such a small place. Walking to class, you see people, every 10 or 15 feet. It actually gets to be almost too small for my likings my senior year. So that's something that's kind of really changed since before and then actually being a student.
Yeah, I mean, when I first got, every class I think about 3,000 students is technically what if I was an admissions counselor, I could tell you the exact numbers for the past 5 years. But so about that, so you come in, it's obviously a pretty big number, and all the freshmen get here a couple of days before for orientation. And so thinking, with that in mind, I thought I was going to come here and just be, a number, just be, one person, a huge pool of brand new freshmen just trying to, make their way across campus, get adjusted to college life. But from the first day you get there and start moving into your dorm and you begin the orientation activities, you really start to, and you're going to hear us probably say this a lot, and you're going to think it sounds really cheesy, but you really get a sense of community here on campus because Cornell pretty much dominates the city of Ithaca, although we do live harmoniously with our fellow Ithacans and other students at Ithaca College and whatnot. We represent a majority of the community here, and we are very proud of that fact. And especially you'll note that here when you come for orientation and you're meeting all these other really ambitious, nervous freshmen at the same time. So you're not a number. You're definitely a face in a pool of other people that are trying to get their name out there too. So definitely, I noted.
Yeah, I didn't actually visit Cornell's campus until Cornell days after I was admitted too. And I had looked around campus on Google Maps, things like that, where you can walk around on the streets. But I was struck once I got here at how the campus is pretty big. It's really nice and open. I like how I know different colleges sort of have different quads where your classes might be, but there's enough difference in classes where you will be going to like all the different parts of campus. And I loved living on North Campus my freshman year, getting to walk over that Thurston Avenue Bridge, over a waterfall, and it was beautiful. I hadn't ever really seen anything like that. It was so green, so nice. And winters are cold, but I think they're beautiful too.
And when I came, I had Ezra Cornell's vision in my mind, the any person, any study part. And what struck me most was the any study part. When I got here, I thought that basically just meant, I would have the opportunity to take classes in all these different fields and things like that. I would have the opportunity to learn from, Cornell's professors and things like that. But what I really realized was that you're in a community full of other people in such a diverse array of fields who are passionate about those fields. And it's not just about what you can learn in the classroom, but it's about being part of a community that is studying all these different things, all these different majors that Cornell has to offer. You're in a great community of scholars who are passionate about all those different things, and that's what really struck me.
So I'm sure a lot of the students have been thinking about, getting accepted, and they're coming and they're really excited, and housing is one of those things you're probably thinking about immediately, like, oh my God, where am I going to live? Who am I going to be living with? And just so you guys know, those of you watching, the housing stuff, all that information will come to you later. But I'm curious if you guys wouldn't mind talking a little bit about, what is the residential experience like? Where do you live? What might have been interesting about where you lived first year, since this is what they have to look forward to most immediately, and then maybe some of you can talk about your trajectory from first year to perhaps where you're living now, just so they get a sense of the variety of residential kind of experiences they could have.
Well, I'm a sophomore, and when I came to Cornell, I didn't know anybody at all, like a grand total of 0 people. So I didn't really know what to expect, and I think that the residential housing program helped me a lot. I lived in Lower I-7, which is an older dorm, but it turned out to be really great because the company made my experience so enriched, and we had a suite style living. Like, there's different types of living arrangements on North Campus, but Lower I-7 was a suite style, so it was like a suite, like within a unit, and like your unit was your like family. Like, I became really close with everyone in the unit, and I was randomly matched with my roommate, who is now my roommate this year, and it worked out really well for me. It was a great experience.
Where do you live now?
Oh, I live in a sorority house, yeah, with my roommate, yeah.
I have to say, I lived in Jamison Hall, one of the high rises kind of built along the same ways as Lower I-7. And I wouldn't have changed my freshman year experience for anything. I absolutely loved it. You know, it really is about the people you meet and those connections you make. After that, I lived on West Campus, which is beautiful, brand new buildings. There's a dining hall in every single building, which is a bit dangerous. There's some days I never left my dorm, especially in the winter. And now as a senior, I live in College Town. I really enjoy it, you know, getting to cook for myself, and it's a lot of fun.
Great. And not to interrupt, but we just got a question from Becca. Great question, Becca. It's not too late. But her question is, how does Cornell do roommates? So as you're responding, if you know the answer to that question, how does Cornell do roommates? Like, how do you get a roommate freshman year? Just add that in.
Right, yeah. Now, I live for these kinds of questions. I'm also a tour guide on campus, so that might come out just a smidge when I talk here. But just for you, for those of you that are unfamiliar with kind of how the housing situation works, and you'll get a lot more information about this in the coming months. Finish high school first. But all freshmen live on North Campus, which is a short, you know, maximum 10-minute walk away from Central Campus, which is where the majority of your classes will be, most of the study halls, libraries, all that kind of stuff. So all freshmen live there on North Campus to kind of, and that was an initiative that started 10-something years ago, that tried to create an environment where freshmen could develop and grow in the Cornell community together, get to know people, especially for those that come knowing a grand total of 0 people. You know. So we definitely, I specifically was a huge fan of the North Campus living community. I lived in Dixon Hall. That one is a majority of the rooms in there are single, so I did have a single my first year, but so did everybody else on the floor. So while you maybe think I was a hermit for my entire freshman year, I didn't know anybody. I actually did, because although you have your private time and your alone time when you need it, which is important, so you don't drive yourself crazy, everybody else does too. And of course, they also want to engage and, you know, meet new people. So I remember every single day I'd come back from class, and we'd all take a huge group, you know, down to the dining hall and eat together, take a big table in RPCC, one of the 2 dining halls up on North Campus. So again, that sense of community that I talked about before, and whether you want, you know, there are single options, doubles, triples, and quads as well. That are available on North Campus. In the coming months, there are some opportunities to find roommates on Facebook. Maybe I'll see you on the Hill now, our new site for you guys. That might be a possibility. You'll also fill out a roommate survey form that kind of describes your characteristics, your living habits, and that also will help you find a roommate that's more compatible with your, you know, habits and things like that. So definitely a lot of ways to find a roommate. But if you go ahead, I'm talking too much.
Good information. So I remember back when I was figuring out where I was going to live freshman year, you preference whether you want a single or a double or a triple, I believe. Yeah, and originally I wanted a double, then a single, then a triple, and I got put in a double, and I got put into Muse Hall, it's one of the newer ones, so I really enjoyed it. I was in a double, but you're also sort of arranged into pods, and so there were also people with singles near me. We had a common room where we would all hang out, and those people that I lived with that first year, I'm still really good friends with today. I'm taking a snowboarding PE with most of them, which is a ton of fun. It's so great.
Yeah, and I have a similar story. I'm living currently with all people that I lived with freshman year. I'm a senior now and living off campus in College Town, and we're in 2 5-bedroom apartments, one on top of the other, and all 10 of us lived on the same floor freshman year. So we've remained friends, and it's been great. So, and between then, I lived in my fraternity house, and I lived with people in my major, sophomore and junior years respectively. But now I'm back with my freshman year friends, and I think that really, tells to the community building of the North Campus housing system.
Wow. That is absolutely fascinating that you would still be living with the folks you met your very first weeks on campus. That's fascinating, and it's great. And yeah, that's great. So just as a reminder, you guys, so you probably got to this panel via CU on the Hill. We will be chatting. This group will be on CU on the Hill chatting after the panel ends, and that'll be in about a half hour or so. And then you'll be able to chat for a little while longer on cuonthehill.com. You can also go on to CU on the Hill now, and if you have questions, you can submit them if you didn't get a chance or get to it, you could submit them now. We'll see if we can't fit them in. You can also submit questions via the Q&A green button that's on your screen if you're watching this live. This will be available as an archive later, but if you're watching it live, you could submit a question now. Thanks to Becca who did earlier. It wasn't too late, and it was a perfectly timed question too. But let's get back to questions. So you guys started talking a little bit about community, and one thing that Cornell is known for is all the clubs. And by the way, we're not going to spend a lot of time talking about academics because we know you guys are all smart, and Cornell is all about academics, but student life is so much more dynamic than just going to class and all the work that you guys are going to do so you can get in here and get out of here. But let's talk about all the stuff that rounds that experience out. So talk about clubs. How many do we have now? Is it 1,000? Is it more than 1,000? Are you involved in any of them? I know you're involved in a couple because you're here, you're ambassadors, but and you said you're a tour guide. So what do you guys do when you're not in class that makes Cornell even more exciting? How do you meet people?
I think it's definitely really interesting because, like, you think in college you're going to have, like, all this free time because it's not class from, like, 7 to 3 every day, but then you just find that your schedule is, like, packed with all the extracurricular activities that you want to do because Cornell just has so many opportunities, and, like, for me personally, like, I get very excited, so I'm like, oh, I want to do this, or, like, I want to do that, and there's just so many things available for you. Like, for example, there's Club Fest, which is our notorious showcase, I guess, of all these clubs that we have. I think it's, oh gosh, like 1,000 plus. Anything that,
At this point, it's over 1,000.
yeah, like anything that you want, we're gonna have, and if we don't have it, like, you can, like, feel free to create it. But you go to Club Fest and you kind of, like, walk around at all the different tables and see like what catches your eye. Like for me, Cornell Minds Matter caught my eye because I like dealing with mental illness and, like, learning more about that. But for some people, it might be like the squirrel watching club or ukulele club or anything in between.
Unicycle club is a big one.
Unicycle club, there you go.
I even go out there in the winter. I'm really impressed. For me, kind of, I get more out of, the stuff I do outside of class than from class directly. A really big part of my Cornell experience was, joining a research lab the summer after my freshman year and then continued on since now, doing an honors thesis, taking up all my time. But in terms of kind of other activities, I got really involved with a club called Art Beyond Cornell. I'm co-president this year. We go once a week to a maximum security prison in the Ithaca area and do art with incarcerated youth, and I absolutely love that experience. Really, when we say you can find anything, you really can. Other things I do, I'm on the club roller hockey team, which I didn't really know about before coming to Cornell. So really, I really recommend going on OrgSync, or there are a lot of websites that list all the clubs at Cornell and kind of come up with an idea of what you want to join. And, people are really friendly if you want to email them kind of at the start of the school year and see how to get involved.
Yeah, and I think it's really important when you come to college, it's critical that you not lose sight of, like, who you are and what you enjoy, and so bring that with you. So I knew I loved to interact with people, and I really, really wanted to give back to this place that had made me such a happy, person. So I decided to take opportunities where I'd be able to interact with prospective students like you all. So we're all here as ambassadors. We interact with prospective students, kind of answer your questions like we're doing now. Also a tour guide here on campus, so I'm able to interact with you in that form as well, which is really great. Also involved in various organizations in the hotel school program as well. But like we were saying, the Club Fest happens your first week here during orientation on campus, and you just go up and down the aisles of Barton Hall, our largest building here on campus, and you're able to get a taste of everything that is to offer here. We have everything from different business fraternities and organizations that might spice up your resume, or we also have the squirrel watching club, the Blue M&M Appreciation Club. This is from my tour. I'm not sure if that one's still around anymore. Now this is if you've been on a tour, if you're going on a tour, you'll probably hear this stated. But back in the 80s, there were a lot of vegetarian vegan clubs that were popping up here on campus, and so as a response to those, all the meat eaters said that we wanted to club for for ourselves. So they started one called MEAT. It was an acronym standing for Men Eating Animals Together. And so that did exist. I don't think it's around anymore, but just to show you that there is something for everybody. So definitely get involved because you'll have a lot of off time outside of the classroom to do that. So definitely take advantage.
Yeah, the huge variety of clubs is one of those things that helps break down Cornell into a lot of smaller, really accessible communities. And my involvements have sort of changed over the course of my 4 years here. Freshman year, first semester, I joined Ambassadors. And the info sessions and things like this were such a big part of why I chose to come to Cornell that I wanted to be the one giving great advice too. So I met a bunch of great people through that. I joined a research lab, looking at how infants develop speech with one of my favorite professors. That was great. Now I'm part of a pre-law fraternity. That's my quarter zip that I'm wearing right now. That's a really great group of people. And I don't know, there's so many different clubs and things. I'm also part of Minds Matter. I'm part of a psychology honor society, and the list goes on.
I personally do a lot of work with alumni affairs. I've worked at all three Cornell reunions since I've been at Cornell. I'm now a head clerk, so I do a little bit more of a supervisory function for that. And I'm also involved with the senior class campaign that inspires seniors to give back to Cornell before graduation to show their appreciation for everything Cornell has given them. And then also in general, to fill up the time between classes, I also suggest surrounding yourself with people who are also very involved and very committed to doing all sorts of different things, because then they'll invite you to events that they're part of. And it just means so much more when you're going to, a play that your friend directed, or, a conference that one of your friends helped plan, things like that. So definitely, it might take a long time, it might take till senior year to have that sort of network, but once you get to know more people who are involved in different things, that's how you really get to be exposed to the strengths of Cornell.
Great. Wow, so we've got some great questions coming in via the video feed here. And one of the questions is actually the question I was going to ask next, just in a little bit of a different iteration, but I was going to ask you guys about sport culture here, just because I think people don't think about Cornell being in Cornell students, the Cornell community, the campus, being into athletics that much. I mean, they think about Cornell and they think knowledge, intellectual. They're not athletes. We're not into sports. Actually, one of the questions up here from Sam is it possible to play a sport and also participate in a student organization like a project team? So let's talk about sports and, what sorts of things do you guys participate in, go watch? I mean, do you think that we have a sport culture here? Do you think the athletics are a big part of the school spirit, the Cornell environment, the Cornell ethos?
Yeah, so I've had season hockey tickets for all 4 years since I've been here, so that is the big Cornell sport thing. Have you too?
Yeah.
So, go Big Red. So that is the big sport at Cornell, if you have not heard already. But it's absolutely insane. The student section is very rowdy, very energetic, and passionate.
Yeah.
Passionate's a good word. So that would be probably my favorite Cornell sports, aspect of all the athletics that we have here. I've also gone to several lacrosse games. I have a friend who's actually on the Dartmouth lacrosse team, but he was playing Cornell. Unfortunately, we beat Dartmouth pretty badly in that game, but I got to see him. But I love to watch the lacrosse team. But yeah, and no matter what level of sports, so there's varsity, club, and intramural, so no matter which level of sport you're referring to for the engineering project team, it's absolutely possible to be involved in both sports and organizations such as a project team.
Yeah, I'm not directly involved in a sport, but I have a couple close friends where one of them was a sprinter on the track team who still managed to graduate early engineering. I have another friend who's captain of the Bhangra team, which is an Indian dance group, and he's also been on a project team, I think the one that does, it might be Baja, I think, I'm not sure, and he's also doing great in his engineering classes. So it's definitely possible to handle a pretty rigorous course load with the other activities that you want to do. But there's always more to do, and time management gets really essential. Yeah.
You know, during your first, couple months here,
Take it easy.
absolutely. And you'll start to get a feel for what's too much, what more you could take on, and you'll begin to perfect your time management skills. And so that's a really critical period for you to adjust to this new kind of life, here on a university campus. Definitely very different from high school and all that kind of stuff. So get a feel for that. You'll figure out what's best for you, and it'll also give you time to explore the options and the opportunities that you could take up here. But a lot of students also find that their participation in these, productive extracurriculars like the project teams tend to supplement their learning in the classroom. So it's kind of like killing two birds with one stone, and you can actually accomplish a lot, in both at the same time. So definitely, I know several people. I'm not particularly involved in any sports. I go to watch them and support. I love that, but so I check that, and everyone should.
Yeah.
But I know several that are involved in a wide array of activities, and it's all just about who you are and how you can manage everything.
So we got a question about what is a typical day like for a student, or actually they asked for a freshman.
I'm guessing.
And anybody want to try and give them a
Anybody?
sense? And actually, we should preface by saying, maybe, is there only one typical day, or are there versions of a typical day?
I feel like, there's never really a typical day, because like your schedule, we have different classes on different days. Like I remember last year, like I worked in the mornings and then I went to class, and then like some days I didn't. I don't know. Some days I didn't have class, so that was kind of nice. But there's just no set, like, what am I trying to say here?
It's the great thing about being in college is you get to decide your schedule more or less.
Exactly.
Yeah, I like to think of it as the if you have all seen the Lego Movie, every day he wakes up with everything is awesome, and just like every day is like it can be a routine if you want it to be, and some people are comfortable with that, so they wake up, they go to the dining hall for breakfast, and then school, and your extracurriculars and your job or whatever, and sports, and you come back for dinner, do homework, go to sleep. So, or you can spice it up, and every day is different, So that's the beauty, like you said, the beauty of college.
Yeah, there are sort of some things that characterize your freshman year, like those freshman writing seminars, which are small groups of people. You can meet up like twice a week or so. If you're in arts and sciences, and you're also going to do a foreign language, probably at least 3 days a week. But every semester is so incredibly different from the one that came before. It's totally different classes, could be totally different involvements. And that first bit of freshman year is sort of frantic because you're trying to meet as many new people as you can. And it's sort of uncomfortable in a really exciting way. But I feel like that's sort of what your first year is about, trying to go outside your comfort zone and try new, unusual things.
Yeah. Like coming all the way from California to New York. Exactly.
Lots to get used to.
Yeah, exactly. So we got one question. These are great questions. You guys keep sending them to us using the interface. If you're watching this live, the link from CU on the Hill, or you could submit questions via CU on the Hill. And again, there will be a chat happening, a brief chat happening after we're done here, so that you can talk to each other, and you can also talk a little bit more to the students who have taken a little bit of time out of atypical days. There is no typical day after freshman year, probably. I mean, there's probably a number of types of days, but thank you guys so much for taking time out of your day. One question was about resident advisors, and we can answer that very quickly. Yes, the residential halls called dorms. I don't think people like the word dorms all the time, but they're residence halls. There are different types of residence halls. They do have advisors, resident advisors, residence hall directors who are there to help make your living experience better, safer, and to provide support as needed. Let's move on to some other questions, though. So, here's a sort of invasive kind of question, but these guys probably would be interested. What are you planning to do this weekend? Or you can talk about, if you don't want to talk about your plans, what does a weekend look like? You're studying all week. Yeah, people say, students at Cornell work hard and play hard. So, there are all these activities, organizations. What do you do on the weekends, or what do you do to just kind of take a break from, the rigors of the intellectual experience here?
Well, this weekend with my sorority, we're going snow tubing to take advantage of the snow that is outside right now. You can't see it, but it's there, and I think that's a good experience because we went last year and I didn't go, and I felt like regret over that decision. So this year, I'm gonna try my best to make it and take a break for a little bit.
Something I did last weekend was I had a dinner party for a bunch of friends, made a really large meal. It's kind of fun to chill, and I think that's kind of more about the social scene senior year. It's kind of like small environments, kind of just more intimate. You know people really well. So don't know if that's going to happen again this weekend. It's kind of hard to plan. All that stuff's still a lot going on, but yeah.
I was actually abroad in the fall, so I haven't been here since May. So there's a lot of people that I need to catch up with and see, and tell them all about my trip and everything. So yeah, I'm going to be seeing a lot of friends, either in restaurants in College Town for dinner or at their apartments just to hang out and have a good time. But over the weekends, I usually like to. I will go to sporting events. I love acapella. Acapella is a huge thing here. I love going. I go to almost all the concerts. I have the pass. They have a pass for that too. Like five concerts, like discounted price. Yeah.
One group or for?
So no, you can buy like a 5 concert pass for like a discounted price. So if you're going to at least 5 of them. I know this is, oh my God, you're going to be so well informed before this. You can tell it's a big deal. You can talk to your friend that's in the acapella group, and they can kind of put you in communication with the ACAC or whatever the group is called, or the overlying organization that's responsible, whatever. And so, I also like to be, going to town. We have the TCAT bus system. It was really convenient. You take a 5-minute ride in town to the Commons and go check that out. So so it's just time to unwind and get some work done, of course, as well.
Yeah, tonight I'm going to go see Jessica Williams. She's going to be here on campus. So there are a lot of speaker events, concerts, things like that. So I'm looking forward to that. And my Saturdays are snowboarding. They pick us up at noon and bus us over to Greek Peak. And then I fall down a bunch of times trying to learn.
So you do them.
Yeah, you're going to be there? Cool. And then they bring me back at 7. So it's a big chunk of my Saturday. But it's so much fun. PE classes here are great. Yeah.
I have 3 meetings in the middle of the day tomorrow, and then after that I'll be going to a hockey game against Colgate, where hopefully we'll be throwing some two.
Crest is better.
Speaking of sport culture, yeah.
Crest is better. The chant against Colgate. And then Sunday, my fraternity is having a Super Bowl viewing party, so I'll be going to that.
Yeah, we'll do that too. Yeah, we still do that.
There is a Cornell 2010 alum on the Seahawks, Brian Walters. So
really?
I'm rooting for the Seahawks.
Oh, good. So you should too.
Well, you guys are sending in really great questions. Here's a great question. It may be difficult, but let's just go down the line. Describe your Cornell experience in one word.
Start over there.
Sorry. There. Or anyone.
So
it eludes brief description.
I think that's
everything.
okay. Cornell is everything. I love that because I actually Cornell is everything. I love that because I think that's the answer. I don't know that you could sum up such a broad, vast, diverse, dynamic, crazy, fun, intellectually stimulating experience in one word. But anybody else want to try?
Exploration is a good word.
Yes.
Off of that, I want to say adventure because
Adventure, exploration.
I was gonna say forever because of the vast Cornell alumni network.
That's nice.
Because
Self-discovery.
Self-discovery, nice. You gave us a hard
Common
question.
theme.
Great.
Hyphenated.
But in the end, I do like everything.
I know that.
Yeah, I mean that's really kind of what it is. It's everything. So we got another question. What do you guys do? Well, this question may be about the summer before you started Cornell. What did you do during that summer? And great question, by the way. Let's also combine that with what do you now do during the summers, and how might those things have been different or be different because you weren't a Cornell student, you became a Cornell student. Summer took on a different look.
I think just going into Cornell, like the senior year to freshman year of Cornell, you should just relax because like you work so hard like throughout high school, like you've done a lot of work already, and you're about to embark on a wonderful journey. So you might as well like just enjoy your time at home, spend time with your family and friends, and really like get pumped for Cornell. I personally didn't do anything. I don't know if anyone did anything super exciting.
I had
but-
2 jobs.
Oh, okay. You could work. I'm not saying don't work.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to have money coming in as a freshman.
The
Yeah.
economy.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I remember my college counselor was telling me when I was back in high school, said, like, when I was in I was trying to just determine whether hospitality was my desired career path, and I want to study that in college. So I worked at a couple of hotels over the summer in college, in high school. But then I just remember that last summer, I said, all you have to do is pack up and leave. And I said, that's all I'm going to do. And now, mostly with regards to summers in college, it depends. A lot of kids, a lot of freshmen might go back after their first year. If they work at like a summer camp or something, they may do that again because they really enjoy that experience. But then a lot of students do try to look for summer internships, job opportunities. We have a lot of resources to help you do that. Cornell Career Services, CCNet is our online recruitment center. You can go in, upload your resume, and sign up for an interview slot here on campus. So a lot of opportunities to find something to do over the summer if you don't already have something you will wind up to do at home. So.
Yeah, that pretty much sums it up. I chilled with my family summer before coming here. And then since then, what have I done? I did a pre-law summer program. I researched at the American Bar Foundation, and then I wrote a research project at Northwestern. So like every year you sort of build on what you did the previous summer, I feel like.
Right, yeah.
And so then you have like a really solid body of experiences to go forth when you're in my position, senior year, second semester, trying to find a job for once you leave. Yeah.
And so the hotel school for me and Ben is an 800-hour requirement in the hospitality industry to graduate. So I've had a full-time internship for the 3 summers that I've had, which have been amazing, and I've all gotten them all through Cornell Hotel School alumni, actually. So there's a vast alumni network for all of Cornell. They will help you find internships, and as you said, there are a lot of resources to help find those sorts of opportunities as well.
Great. Anybody else do research or internships? You want to talk about what you did? And
I mean, I've been in Ithaca every single summer doing research or teaching. But I mean, I saw there was a question about how to get involved in research. It's really easy, at least for biology, the biology website. They have all the different research groups and labs listed, and the papers and brief description and an email, so you can just contact them, and it's really easy. In terms of what I do, is I study a protein interaction and leukemia, and how like manipulating that interaction affects treatment. And kind of a really common thing if you're doing research or anything else on campus is you're kind of leading your own project, coming up with your own ideas. It's not something where you're, just given directions and you're doing someone else's work. So yeah, that's kind of a brief description to research. We could talk all day about it.
Yeah, I think that puts the rumor to rest. Our students do find the cures to cancer. Someday.
He's right here.
Right.
That's right. That's right.
And to get involved in research, the way that I did, at least I think the way that a lot of people do it, is you take a class with a professor, you really like what they teach or what they might be researching, and then afterwards you can talk to them about how to join their lab. For my developmental psychology professor, I filled out an application and interviewed with the lab, and then I was in and I worked there as a sophomore. I'm not there now because my academic interests have sort of shifted, but he's still my faculty advisor and is an incredible resource on all sorts of things. And if I had continued in that lab, I would have been able to have my own project, undoubtedly studying what I wanted. Yeah, Professor Goldstein, he's great.
I'm taking my class now.
Yeah, a good one.
So we've got another great question here. We'll interject. I think it says, Anna wants to know, what is your favorite thing about Cornell? One thing. No, okay, so you can choose 2.
I would say going back to sort of what I was saying about the any study part is being part of a community of people who are so interested in what they're studying and across a huge huge, diverse, fields of study. And the strength of Cornell is not just in the classrooms or its facilities or the professors. It's being on campus with 14,000 other undergraduates and 7,000 graduate students, and being able to interact with them outside the classroom in your extracurriculars, finding common interests and things like that. Just being able to be with those people for 4 years and to explore their interests as well as yours.
Yeah, I absolutely love my classes this semester, and I love the variety of different classes here that you can take, because even though I'm in arts and sciences, I get to take classes in any other college. There's like a specific part of my graduation requirement that allows me to do that. And so I'm taking wines and Latin American politics and art history, and I'm really excited to go to class. And another thing that I really liked, as much as I love Cornell, they also gave me the opportunity to go abroad. I spent my entire junior year abroad at Oxford, which I never thought that I would be able to do, let alone come to Cornell. So it's I don't know, it's so great being here, but it's also a great springboard to other things.
No, I completely agree. I mean, you'll find everybody here is so genuine and so passionate about what they're studying, and because of the nature of the setup of Cornell, the 7 undergraduate colleges, you find people that are so into what they're doing and what they're studying and researching. And I personally, I fell in love with the hospitality business. So one of the main draws for the school was the hotel program. For those of you in it, welcome. You'll see me next year. So I love the environment there. But then, like Mikey was saying, you walk right out the front door, and you have the rest of the Cornell community to benefit from. We're going to take classes in the human ecology school, in our fashion design program, or we have the wines classes, and it's a popular one in the hotel program as well. And also the fact that Cornell is able to allow you to springboard in different things. I was able to go abroad and get academic credit for it, and I love my experience. I won a semester at sea, so I was really fortunate to be able to do that. So just the fact that Cornell's always thinking of you, I think, which is really comforting and reassuring.
I have to say, being in Ithaca, I really do love it. Like I said, I've been here every single summer. Feeling like you're part of the community here. I've been volunteering at this prison. I also volunteer at the local hospital. There are a lot of different events downtown in Ithaca. The Apple Fest, Chili Cook-Off, the farmers market. It's such a warm and inviting place, and Ithaca, it really draws you down off the hill, kind of down into Ithaca. And for the 4 years here, and even afterwards, I'm sure I'll feel kind of like a connection to Ithaca, and I think it's kind of unique about Cornell and our relationship with Ithaca.
Yeah, I think just to finish up, to go back on, there is no typical day here at Cornell. There really isn't. Like every day, like I'll learn something new, whether I want to or not. Like it just happens. And it's just giving me so many opportunities. Like I think back to senior year and like who I was as a person then, and compare it to myself now, and it's just a completely different person, and it's for the better. And just again, all the opportunities that Cornell's given me is just unbelievable, and I'm very happy to be here.
Thank you. So we have 3 questions left, and we're going to try and wrap up. We actually have 4 questions left. We're going to do 3 of them rather quickly, so I'm going to ask maybe a couple of you to sort of give very fast responses to some of these questions. 1-word responses, yes. No kidding. So we have a question here. What was the best way for you to meet new people?
I'd say orientation week.
Keep your door open.
Yeah.
Dining.
Orientation week, keep your door open, the dining hall. Really?
Yeah.
You can
Yeah,
sit with
just sit with
strangers in
anybody.
dining halls.
First,
Yeah.
Sit with strangers in the dining
Yeah,
hall.
no,
Start
sure.
up a conversation.
I'm still good friends with people I met the first day. Just sit down with them.
Yeah.
It's a great place.
And that's something that's pretty easy to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
No problem.
Great advice. Great advice. Any other ways to meet people?
PE classes, clubs.
Just like talk to everybody.
Talk to everybody. Talk
Yeah.
to people you're walking to class with.
Yeah.
The
Talk,
first few
talk to
weeks
people on the
of school,
bus.
everyone wants to make
Yeah.
friends. It's
Yeah.
a magical place.
Talk to people at College Town Bagels. Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent. Do you use bicycles on campus? Well, do any of you guys ride bikes on campus, or do you have friends?
I'm very unathletic, and like the hills and the snow, just like don't work for me. I know people
If
can
you're
do it.
really into biking, you can do it, but it's hard.
There's a will, there's a way, but
There are people that are biking. It's not.
but there's also like the bus system and the features.
Just walking.
Yeah.
Walking.
You know, walking, like you said, you coming from North Campus to Central Campus, you walk across the bridge with a waterfall. I mean, I feel like with walking, people savor the moment, and biking just like zoom right by, you know. So, but you can, yeah, for sure.
I had a few friends who biked freshman year. Going from North Campus to the engineering quad is a little bit of a trek if you're just walking it every day. So they would bike over there, and it wasn't too traumatic. Nothing bad happened.
Yeah.
That's great. And our penultimate question is, do you know anyone who had to take swimming for their PE credit in freshman year?
Well, every college has their own graduation requirements. There are two that every student, regardless of what you're studying, has to complete. One is a freshman writing seminar, and one is a swim test. So odds are you'll do, if you know how to swim, which isn't that hard, you'll finish the swim test during orientation, and it's done forever. But in the event that you can't, and that's okay, then you're automatically enrolled in one of your two PE courses that you need to take. Which is another graduation requirement, and that's beginning swimming. So if you do take that, you ends with the swim test, and then and that requirement's done too. So I think there was one person in my freshman floor that did that and had to take the class.
But it wasn't that bad.
But no, it's just it's just regular. I don't know if you were with floaties at the beginning or something. I don't know.
Great. So last question. So there are a bunch of traditions at Cornell, tons of traditions. What traditions have you taken advantage of? Or if you have a favorite tradition, what's your favorite tradition?
I like, on the terms of hockey, I know, I went to the game in Madison Square Garden over in New York City.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, against Penn State. We won. It was great. But like one of the things that we do is like when we're singing the national anthem, it's like, and the Rockets red. Yeah. It's just like it's just like little things like that. That's just like, yes, like I go to Cornell and it makes me feel like really united with everyone, because even though we weren't here at Lino Rink, there were tons of Cornell people there and we were all doing it together. Yeah.
I love Dragon Day. Last day of class before spring break, architecture students bring out, or first years, design a dragon and then just parade it around campus. And it's just a lot of fun kind of to, I don't know, celebrate all the hard work you've done kind of the spring semester and then go on break. And it's a great tradition. I don't know.
Probably the last day of class, or the day after last day of class is slope day. You may have heard of it before. I feel like almost everybody on this panel would say it's a lot of fun. They bring a big headliner to come and do a concert on our slope, on Lime Slope, and there's a big festival, and you get your little hot dogs and your face painted, and it's just a great way to end the year. A little break before finals week and study week, and so it's been going on for decades now. So that's always a lot of fun to look forward to.
Yeah, and less of an annual tradition and more of an everyday thing is hearing the chimes of the clock tower. But you'll like know at least the musical note to the alma mater, like at the end of your first week here. And they play all sorts of great stuff. I love it when they play the Harry Potter theme, even though I know it's a lot. I thought that Cornell was like Hogwarts coming from Southern California to here. And I don't know, it lifts my spirits when I hear it.
I was basically say the same thing, but if you get the clock tower on the perfect day during a perfect sunset, it's a very picturesque moment. You feel very collegiate, and it's awesome to go up into the clock tower, look at the views, request songs, things like that, watch the chimes masters play the chimes for all campus, and it's a very unique experience and very Cornell.
Well, on that note, we're going to wrap up our webcast here. I want to thank Alex, Aaron, Ben, Kelsey, and Mikey for spending a little time with you to help you get ready to see us on the hill next fall. We'll be here waiting for you, but the evening is not over. If you guys have more questions, and I do see that someone actually does have at least one more question, we're going to transition over to our wonderful private social network, See You on the Hill, for admitted students. You can chat with us and with others who've been admitted during our early decision on See You on the Hill. That's seeyouonthehill.com, and you should have gotten an email about it. If you have questions, whatnot, you can find help and assistance there, or you can email See You on the Hill. There's an email address, I think, where you can send questions. But I do want to thank Alex, Aaron, Ben, Kelsey, and Mikey, and we're about to transition over. We look forward to talking with you and answering more of your questions as you get ready, continue to feel excited about Cornell. We want to help in any way that we can. Know that more information is coming later this spring, and this was a lot of fun. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Hope you guys had fun.
Good luck.
Yeah.